My name is Russell Martin. I'm the founder of Virtually Mine and the VR Space. I founded Virtually Mine in 2014. Originally it was an equipment hire company. It slowly turned into an events and content creation company focusing on VR, and we're beginning to focus on training in the workplace and in education. There are many benefits to VR in education. It's engaging, it's an active experience, so students typically tend to pay more attention. There are fewer distractions, so we've done some press releases where the client's product would be launched via this 360 video. Everyone puts on the headset and they're totally immersed in that world, you know. They're looking at the things that you want them to look at, otherwise you wouldn't have put them in that world. So there's nobody's friend next to them trying to pass them a note or speak to them why they should be paying attention to the slide or presentation in class. It's a good hands-on approach, obviously aids with retention, and it's exciting. You know, when I was at school, someone wheeled in the TV with the video cassette, blow-out video player. Everyone was like, awesome, we're going to end up watching a movie or something, or something on the TV. It's the same now. When we have kids in here, some of them are being brought here as a surprise and they instantly get excited. They know what VR is. They've seen all the YouTubers use it. You know, everyone's clued up. They know what it is. There's pretty much every subject area has some form of VR application. So for example, you can go on virtual field trips on the Apollo 11 mission, which we've got today and we'll show you at the end of the session. You can experience D-Day. You can dissect the human anatomy, literally pull bits of the body out, interact with it, there'll be notes on it. So you can see how it's a really engaging user experience. Google Earth, obviously Google have mapped pretty much the planet in Google Earth. When you put the headset on, you can fly to any area on the planet. You can put in a postcode, your home postcode. You can go there, your house will be in 3D thanks to Street View and all of the satellites looking down on us. We'll be using that today as well. And people can paint in it. So there's a really popular application called Google Tilt Brush. It was launched with the HTC Vive headset. And you can quite literally paint with various brushes, different colors. In VR, you pull the trigger and the medium, the paint that comes out just hangs there. It is very cool. And as you can see, it's all three-dimensional. So if you draw in one space, you can then walk around it, draw from the other side. It's very cool. Last summer, we exhibited at a TED event. We exhibited at a TEDx event, and they wanted to show some form of VR there. They weren't fussed what it was, they just wanted to see some VR. We ended up taking some Oculus Rifts, and we did a 3D sculpting class. So people at TED were coming over, they were sculpting something in VR, and essentially all that they were doing were pulling the trigger on the controller. A clay-like substance was coming out of their fingers, and they were making characters in different shapes, that kind of thing. We could then take these virtual models that they'd just created with no prior experience in computer-aided design, and then we were 3D printing them live. So within the space of about half an hour, someone that had never used a VR headset before had created some shape or some image, extruded it, we exported it, and it was then a physical thing they could hold. We've got a short video here. We worked with Whittle Junior School. They're very they embrace new technologies essentially. I met with their head teacher. I was in the head teacher's office for the first time when I hadn't done something wrong, and in there he had drones hanging off the walls, 3D printers in there. And this was a primary school. They had recruited some architects to create a technology block on their grounds. And the architect had mapped it up in CAD, coloured it, added textures, and sent it over to us, which we then converted and put in virtual reality. We then had some of the school children over to essentially get inside the model and show us around. essentially they were going inside the model before the building had been built, even before the foundations had been built.
This is our pod. It's from a bird's eye view. It's quite an odd shape as it was designed by children like me. So here, as you can see, we've got gardens here which will be filled with flowers, and if you see that we have a curved roof, this is from all the rainwater coming down and then falling onto the plant, so that's a better way to get watered.
If you come through here, this is the inside balcony where you can watch down with the snug area, which is just below us, and down there is where everyone will do their work learning.
So this is our wall, and as you can see it's not got much on it, as it's facing our infant school, we're going to put some plants on it and make it a living wall.
Essentially these kids came into the space, we set everything up for them. They've never used a virtual reality headset like the HTC Vive before. We told them that they're going to walk around their new tech pod that they helped design, and we'd like to film them and sort of let them give us a tour of their future tech pod. Within 5 minutes, these kids are put on the headsets, they know all the buttons, they're walking around, they were saying, oh, this is where our go-kart's going to be kept, this is where we're going to study down here, this overlooks the sports field, as you can see our school's over there. These guys are like 10 and 11, and they took to it like ducks to water.